Chà from Edison Group. I have the pleasure of speaking with Cosmo Pharmaceuticals today. Hello, Alessandro, how are you?
Hi, very well, yourself?
Can you tell me a little bit about your company, perhaps a little background on Cosmo Pharmaceuticals, including focus area, product portfolio, and pipeline?
Sure, thank you. Well, I think Cosmo is an interesting investment case because it's not a biotech, it's a well-consolidated pharmaceutical company. We have revenues coming from our legacy business that continue to perform steadily over the years and provide a sound base for paying the bills. So we have just had very recently new products approved that are tackling large markets. They are entrusted to very large partners because we don't distribute our products ourselves, but we entrust partners for marketing. We are active in three main areas. One is that of gastroenterology, the second one is dermatology, and the third one is health tech. And we have already approved products in all of these areas. Reason why the investment case I think is interesting is because these new products are starting to perform right now. We have a very lean cost base, therefore the sharp increase in revenues will produce also a sharp increase in profitability. And therefore, we're expecting in 22 to be even more profitable than we have been in 21.
That makes sense. So just to delve into a little bit of what you said here, Cosmo has a very broad portfolio of assets. What's your strategy in terms of commercializing these assets? And will you continue to employ a partner-driven commercialization strategy, or would you consider going solo for certain products?
Well, thanks for the question. No, we don't consider going solo. We like to keep a very lean and simple structure, and we love to have our costs completely under control. So I think I can safely assume that we're not going solo on any of those. Besides, as I was telling you before, we have highly reputed partners that have the size and the capacity to perform way more extensively than we would otherwise if we would try to do it ourselves. And sometimes it's best to have a smaller piece of a very large cake rather than a very large piece of a very small cake.
That makes sense. So Winlevi, your recently launched acne treatment, has had some positive traction in the US market. How does the company plan to leverage this?
Well, the results of Winlevi are effectively very, very encouraging because in only 10 months of sales, we've quickly become the #1 branded acne topical product in the US, which I think is an amazing result, with 11,000 dermatologists prescribing our drug, and most important of all, 350,000 prescriptions in less than 10 months. So this is really very successful. And the way we intend to leverage on this is simply by providing all the necessary support, including life cycle management to Sun, in order to keep growing the franchise and extend it. The franchise has a very significant traction because of the US success. We have expanded our agreement with Sun Pharma, which was originally limited to US and Canada, also to Japan, Brazil, Russia, Mexico, Australia, and New Zealand. Further to that, again, because of the US success, we were able to close a very important deal with a very large Chinese company, 3S Bio, who's our licensee now in Greater China. And we have started to tackle European countries and Southeast Asia, MENA, and Latin America. The market has seen us announcing a deal for Germany, Austria, and Italy, and there's more to come in terms of expanding the global franchise.
Can you tell us a little bit about your AI-powered colonoscopy product, GI Genius, with your collaboration with Medtronic?
Yeah, sure. That is probably our most undervalued product in our pipeline. And I think the reason for that is because people have a hard time, and maybe rightly so, in understanding what the heck is a pharmaceutical company doing with high-tech computer science. But when we give the explanation, this is normally easily understood because we've never been doing anything that doesn't come from our know-how. And it was our know-how in GI, our know-how in colonic delivery and colonoscopy, plus the unique library of video data and information that we've gathered over the years that has made the development of the AI system possible. Even more importantly, the AI was actually born following the delay from the FDA to the development of our drug to detect colonic infections, Lumeblue. And that was exactly the context from which we have gathered the information and the videos, thousands of videos of colonoscopies in high mode, in high resolution mode, and thousands of lesions with an histological evaluation. That was the place from which we have harvested the data that has made the development of the AI possible. Now the AI is frankly the only one available that can perform as good as that. Studies show that if you do a colonoscopy with GI Genius, you find 50% more lesions that you would otherwise without using AI. And because chances of developing cancer is in a very tight relationship with your detection capability, the more you increase the detection of lesions, the more you decrease the rate of colorectal cancer. Medtronic is performing exceptionally well as a partner. We're seeing penetration rates increasing in all jurisdictions where the device is already approved, and clearly the most important one is the United States. Just very recently, Medtronic has announced the largest ever deal of its gastrointestinal division with the placement of 115 GI Genius device at the veteran hospitals in the United States. And most recently, today, Medtronic has announced that GI Genius has received the award from the Fortune 500 for being one of the most remarkable innovation in healthcare in the course of this year. So we're very, very proud of having developed that.
So you have a couple of products in the pipeline about to enter phase 3 clinical trials. Can you tell me a little bit more about them and when we should expect to see them hit the market?
Yeah, well, the most important one is our product against androgenetic alopecia, Breezula, which is basically hair loss. As you can imagine, the market for hair loss in males is simply gigantic because there's an estimated 2 billion people on Earth that suffer from androgenetic alopecia, and probably 15 million alone in the United States in a form or another. So this is a very, very promising product. The data from phase 2 were exceptionally good, I think. And you have to take into consideration that this product comes with 0 side effect, which is probably the most important feature. When you use hormonal drugs, you want to make sure that they don't create any sort of hormonal imbalance. And this is exactly the case with Breezula, as it is the case for Winlevi for acne, because Breezula and Winlevi, they share the same active ingredients. So also from the experience of Winlevi, we can conclude that Breezula is extra safe. So trial is expected to begin within year end, and it will probably last between a year and a half. So mid 24, we would have the top line results, and 24, we would file the NDA, and hopefully this will be ready for the market by end 25.
Alessandro, thank you for taking the time to speak with me about Cosmo Pharmaceutical. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You can find more information on Cosmo Pharmaceutical on the Edison website. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.